I also want to get rid of this sidebar, but a really quick way is just turn on the visual builder. So here at the top, I'll click on edit with Divi. So let's get into this, and I'm going to take myself out of the video. So this is the Divi theme UI. Now, the first thing I want to do is close this on the right side so we can see what we're working with. Now, at first glance, there might be a lot of options. You might see a lot of different icons on the left side. You also might see a lot of these options here at the top, but not to worry, I'm going to slowly ease you into a lot of these options as we go step by step. Now, there are some options that I want to show you all before we jump into the tutorial. That is this one right here, where we can turn the interface into a light or dark mode. Also, if we go over here and click on the builder settings, you might see a few options. Now, what I want to do here is make sure that the right fixed sidebar is on the right side. That means when you open up some sort of element, like for example, if you open like an audio up, you're going to see that this now shows up on the right side. And adjusting this will actually put the sidebar on the left side, last used position, and so on and so forth. But I think the right sidebar makes the most sense. Now, another option I want to select in the builder settings is if we scroll down, we have the page bar icons. This allows you to actually add in icons here at the way top right. And I feel like adding the undo button and the history, this will actually help you a lot when you make mistakes. So I do recommend to turn these two options on. You're more than welcome to turn these other options like clear layout on as well, but I feel like these two are the most important. And lastly, scrolling down here way at the bottom, we can actually change the color scheme of the backend. So here we have blue, we have purple, green, and red, and you get the point, right? Now I'm going to change mine to green, and I'm going to use this color for the remainder of this tutorial. The last option is to enable the admin bar. If you turn this on, you can always just quickly go back into the dashboard of WordPress, just in case you want to get out of the builder. But I'm going to turn mine off, but I think that's kind of a cool option because sometimes it might be useful. Here, I'll go ahead and uncheck this. I'll close that. And then I'll delete this, and then we're going to start from scratch. So I'll right click and I will click on the delete audio. Now let me explain how Divi works. Divi first works by adding in a section. So for example, here you'll see this blue line, and these are sections. In these sections, you can add in rows. So for example, I'll click on add new row, and then you'll see a list of a variety of different rows you can add. We have Flexbox, we have multi-column, we have multi-row grid, and so on and so forth. Now, later on in this video, I'm going to go in detail and explain the difference of each specific style like Flexbox and grid. This right here is the website that I made, and we're going to copy this website and learn how to use Divi to remake this same website. I'll also be talking about the difference between Flexbox and grid. So you might see a lot of options with Flexbox and grid layouts, and at first glance, that might be a little complicated, but as we go, I'm going to explain each one step by step. I'll also explain the difference between the different typographies. You're going to notice that you have different typographies such as pixels, rem, and also clamp. So I'll cover that a little bit later. And lastly, we'll talk about measurement sizes such as VH and VW, and I'll slowly ease you into these topics as we go in this Divi tutorial. The main reason why is I don't want to get you overwhelmed, so we'll just start with the bare basics. Now let's go back to our Divi UI and let's add in some columns. So the first column that I want to add is this section here, which is a 2-column row. Now inside of these rows, you can add in modules. So here I'll click on the plus, and then we can now add in modules. So for example, I'll just add in a heading text. Now you have the option to either scroll down and select the actual heading text, or you can just type it in. So here I'll just type in heading and then select heading. Now, once you add the element, if you click on the element on the right side, you have some styling options. Now, this typically pertains to all your elements. So the first is the content section. This allows you to adjust the content of the actual elements. So for example, I'll put Darrel Wilson. Below that, you have a few options, like you can add a link here. The next is like the background, where you can apply a specific background color to this specific elements if you want to, if you want to go that route. And then they have a few other options such as loop, order, and then also meta. And we'll touch base about loop a little bit later. The next section is the design tab. This is essentially where you can control the actual design of each specific element. So for example, here I'll select heading text, and we can adjust the font to something like a BZ, right? Then you'll see it change. And then below that, we can change the font weight to like regular or like, bold or something like that. You can also adjust the alignments of the actual elements inside of the column. Scrolling down, you can also adjust the color of the specific element. So I'll go ahead and just put like a solid black. And for the advanced tab, now personally, you're not going to be using these tabs most of the time. You're mainly going to be using the design tab to design the elements, and also the content tab where you can control the actual content of each specific element. Now, in order to add in elements, if you hover over the elements, you'll notice there's no way you can add in new elements. To enable this, all you got to do is click on the action icons on hover and also the parent action icons on hover. This essentially allows you to add in elements when you hover over new elements. So here we can click on the add new module and then just type in something like image. Here, I'll click on image. Now you can also add in another module by right clicking on this and going to add elements and then just selecting add element below. That's another way on how you can do it. So for example, let's say you want to add an image to your websites. Here, I'll just select the image. And then from here, you can upload files. Now I have demo images for all of you in the video description. You can click on the link in the video description and download those, and then you can upload those so that you can follow along in this tutorial. So I'll click on select files, and the folder is called Divi theme tutorial. So I'm gonna double click on Divi theme tutorial. And then here is a list of all of the images inside of that folder. And I'm just going to go ahead and hold shift and upload all these to my WordPress websites. So I'll click on open. And now I'm gonna upload these images. Okay, and after the images have been uploaded, I will then select this one right here. It is the man using app on smartphone. So I'll select this image and then click on upload an image. And there we go. And you can continue to add in more elements. So for example, I'll click on the plus and then I'll put in some text. All right, we got some text. And of course, on the right side, we can actually, change the text and we can adjust this if we want. So I'll just go ahead and, I'll just delete some text. And then below that, if I click on the plus again, type in button this time, we can then add in a button here on our website. Now let's say, for example, you want to add in elements here on the right side in this column. I'll click on the plus. And then, for example, I'll type in the blurb module, which is essentially just like this image and a headline. And then from here, we can always design and customize each specific element. So scrolling down, notice how we now have new design options. Now these design options are different for each element. So for example, if I click on something like the text, you're no longer going to see those options. So keep in mind, for every single element, you may or may not have specific options catered to that specific element. So for the image and icon, I'll just go ahead and select, I'll just use an icon for now, and then I'll just select one of these icons. There we go. Now on the design tab, if I click on image and icon, we can actually go ahead and further adjust this. Like I can put this on the left side, and then we can adjust the color of the actual icon. Now I'm going to click away. I'll go ahead and click off this box. Now, many of you are probably familiar with other page builders like Elementor and other builders like Beaver Builder and so on and so forth. Now, if you right click on an element, you have the option to either delete the elements, and you can also duplicate the elements. So I can right click and duplicate, and so on and so forth. Now I can also delete elements. So here where you see that trash icon, I can delete the module. And also you can see this duplicate module, which produces the same exact effect. And then of course, you can take these elements and you can drag and drop them to any part of the website where you see that little black line. You can, drag in elements wherever you want to put them and then just drop them, and there you go. But I want to go ahead and undo that. So here at the top right, I'll click on the undo, and I think that's really helpful. So that's why you want to add those there at the top right. Now, just like we can duplicate elements, we can also do the same thing for columns and sections. So for example, I'll go ahead and delete these modules. There we go, delete, and delete, there we go. And then let's say, for example, I want to duplicate this entire row. So I'll click on the row setting, go to contents, under elements, and then here we can see column 1 and then also column 2. Now here I'll go ahead and hit the duplicate item, and then we can also now duplicate entire columns. And this last one is empty, so I can just get rid of that. So I'll delete that column there as well. Now let's say, for example, you want to add a background color to a specific column. So over here under the middle column, I'll click on the pencil icon. Now we are only controlling the actual middle column. For the backgrounds, I'll select the background color of whatever. And you can see that we are now only editing the actual middle column right there. Now notice how we have this background where everything is way too close to the corners and it looks really ugly. We can add in padding. So in the design tab, if we go over here to spacing, we can now add padding. So for example, I'll add in 20 pixels of padding to the top, to the bottom, to the left, and to the right. Wow, that sounds like a song. To the middle, to the left, to the right. So yeah, now you can see this looks a little bit more structured because now we added space in that specific column. Now I'm a lazy guy, so I don't want to do this for every single column, right? That's a lot of work. Now there's two things I can do. I can copy all the styles and apply it to a different column. So for example, I'll right click on this, click on copy attributes, and then I will right click on this column, and then we're going to now paste the attributes. So paste attributes. Here I'm going to select all column attributes, and there you go. Now there's another way on how to do this. So going over here to the actual row, if I click up here, what I can do is I can right click on the second column, click on copy item styles, and then go to the first one and then paste the item styles. This is going to be very helpful when you have a bunch of same elements like buttons and blurbs, and this will really speed up the design process.